there's so much value in this concept of emotional weight loss first and then physical weight loss, and it's based on the past 4 years that I've worked very intently with a number of women. I've been very fortunate 4 years ago to have been approached by Finesse magazine, who has invited me as part of their panel or part of their group of people that help women to go through transformational journeys, specifically with regards to weight loss. They call it the new you, die nieuwe jy. And I've been asked to partake in this journey with women and help them to identify if there's any psychological reasons why they are suffering from weight problems. And part of that journey has certainly been for me to discover, wow, there's so many things that's going on in the hearts and the minds of these women. And it was very interesting how they would start with the first time that we meet, that they would just sit down and immediately start crying. Maybe because now they know he's a psychologist and doesn't, I just have to be honest from the start. And how women would just very quickly open up and share their stories. And I've just recently just said to somebody, it angers me if I hear somebody else saying, that person must just stop eating, because it's not always that. And so I have learned the stories that women have shared of how they've been raped, how they've been physically abused by members of their families, how they were forced to have abortions because they couldn't have the children at a young age and their parents had forced them. So it's all these things that have created deep, deep scars and wounds with these women. And what is interesting about fat, and I'm not saying that every person that's suffering with weight necessarily have a lot of psychological problems, but I've certainly found, that there's definitely a great link. There's very few incidents where people say they struggle with weight because they really just love food, and that is very possible. But if I would have to put a percentage to it without having scientifically measuring it, I would say there's definitely an 80-20 to a 90-10 relationship from emotional weight loss versus just liking food as such. So when women come forward and they say, look, this is my story, and I've never told this to anyone, I've never shared this, but this is really what makes my heart bleed, and they open up about those things, it just makes me cringe, because it makes us think differently about people with weight. It's like what I say to them: when I go through stress, my body stops eating. I have to find the discipline and say, you have to eat something. So I lose weight very quickly when I go through stress. Whereas other people, when they go through stress, they need sugar. And then they eat, and then they feel bad about it, and then they want to feel better, and then they eat more sugar, and so it becomes a diabolical problem almost. What's really to the root of it is rejection, is fear, is pain of the past. And what is interesting, what I've discovered, is how many people say that I want to have weight because then society will reject me, and I can more deal with rejection than what I can work with acceptance. So on a psychological level, that is what they create, and they believe that they cannot be loved, they're not worthy. And that's one of the most interesting things is how really beautiful, stunning women that I've worked with have actually awakened to themselves, and standing in front of the mirror and saying, I am actually beautiful, and kind of meeting with themselves the first time. So if I talk about emotional weight loss, it is about, let us go back and understanding what has created this burden of emotions that you ever had to carry with you. And if you're one of those people that gain weight as a result, then the emotional fatness will start to transpire, and it will start manifesting into physical fatness. We always will bring the inside to the outside. Whatever is inside of you, you'll always recreate on the outside of you. So if you have hurt inside, you'll hurt your outside world. If you have chaos inside here, you're going to create chaos outside there. If you have peace here, then you'll bring peace around you.